Hey students, hi everybody. A very good morning to everyone right in there. Welcome to the very session. My name is Preksha Sharma, your English educator at Unacademy, and I give you all a very warm welcome to this very particular session wherein we are gonna deal with the revision of three poems. One is the tale of Custard, the dragon, the trees, and fog. All right. So please stay tuned for the entire session. It's gonna be a little longer, but I would want all of you to listen to me very carefully because whatever we are going to do, that's going to be like helpful for you for your examination. Okay, so very good morning to everyone right in there. Kindly make sure that you all are attending the session till the very end. Please give me a confirmation in the comment section that I am audible and visible to everybody. Okay, please give me a confirmation in the comment section that I am audible and visible to everyone right in there. Okay, I'm just assuming that I am visible and audible to everybody right in there. So, guys, like in this particular poem, like it's not gonna be just the highlights of the poem. I mean, I'm not just going to tell you the basic outline of the poem. Instead, I'm gonna tell you all the very details which are there in the poem, which is like a very important point to discuss. Because if you know like how we are gonna go ahead with the right kinds of like approach to learn a particular poem, then that always helps us, okay, in a longer run because you remember it for a longer duration. It's not the thing that you are getting into cramming or something. There are always certain aspects that we all need to remember. Hey Dhirendra, hi dear. Hey Shlok, a very happy birthday to you. Have a very amazing day. Celebrate amazingly, eat a lot of food, enjoy, dance, and have fun. Okay, and you can spare one day for studies. That's quite okay. All right. And since it's Sunday also, so it calls for some sort of celebration. All right. I think all your friends can be easily available today. All right. So just have fun. No worries. Very nice. Hey, Akriti. A very good morning. Good morning, everybody. Alrighty, people. Let's get going. Let's get started. Of course, everybody does know my name, right? I'm Preksha Sharma, your English educator. And guys, I have been like telling you all for quite some time to be like really sure of the fact that when you are pursuing your grammar or you're pursuing your literature, you are noting a lot of things. Okay, when we read, we actually focus on a lot many things. You get to know the grammar, you get to know the use of punctuations, you get to understand like what are the contextual words that we use in the different scenarios. So all these things really matter. Please make sure that you're paying proper attention to everything and that too in the right way. All right, that is like very important. So please make sure that you all are like following me dedicatedly whenever I'm taking the classes. You guys are just so determined to be there in the class. Okay, let's get going, everyone. All righty, Shlok. Okay, I get that. Hey, Shivam, a very good morning. So it's the revision of the tale of Custard, the dragon, the trees, and fog. That's what we are gonna do. So we are gonna start with the very first poem, which is the tale of Custard, the dragon. I had come up with a session also lately wherein I had explained the poem in quite detail. Not lately, I mean earlier. So, but in this very session again, I'm gonna tell you all the important and the key aspects of the same. But for that, you guys first tell me what's your personal understanding of the poem. What do you understand? What's being running in the poem? What does it broadly talks about? So, what does it broadly talk about, and what is it that the message that we are getting out of it? Okay, so what exactly the things that are being mentioned? Quickly tell me, everyone. Hey Preeti, hi dear, I'm very well. How have you been? How are you doing? Hi Dhirendra, a very good morning. So quickly tell me what's being given in the poem The Tale of Custard the Dragon. Come up with certain points in the comment section because I really want to get a confirmation from your end that you all are listening to me well. Okay, Dhirendra, I'm very well. Thank you so much, dear. Quickly tell me in the comment section, everybody. Let's get going without wasting time, like without wasting any time. Quickly, everyone. Okay, Dhirendra, very happy birthday to you too. Have a lot of fun today. Okay, I think that you're just spamming. It's not the truth. However, if that is, then I wish you a very happy birthday. Okay. Yes, guys, what's being given here in this particular poem, which is the tale of Custard the Dragon. Quickly tell me, I'm sure you guys know about it. We had covered the poem earlier also, so of course you guys have a knowledge about it. Tell me quickly, everybody. Let's get going. It's a ballad. Okay, Sangeeta. All right. So what does it like talk about? Like what does it say? What does it mention? It is a ballad. That's like an absolute correct answer. The tale of Custard the dragon is a full circle that starts from a cowardly dragon to a brave dragon and again to a cowardly dragon. Yeah, Kriti, you are right about that. Okay. So basically द टेल ऑफ कस्टर्ड द ड्रैगन बेटा एक ऐसी ये पोम है जिसमें हमें पता चलता है कि हिपोक्रेसी यानी दोगलापन, ठीक है, और मतलब आपका एक और का जो कॉन्सेप्ट होता है अपीयरेंस वर्सेस रियलिटी, मतलब जो आपको दिखाई देता है जरूरी नहीं कि वही सच हो, और जो नहीं दिखाई दे रहा इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि वो एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा, वो सच नहीं है। सो टेल बेसिकली क्या है, टेल हमें रेफर करता है स्टोरी, ठीक है। सो ये स्टोरी है किसकी, कस्टर्ड की। कस्टर्ड इज अ नेम, ऑल राइट, इट्स अ नेम ऑफ अ ड्रैगन। ओके, कीप दैट इन योर माइंड। ऑलराइट, द टेल ऑफ कस्टर्ड द ड्रैगन। सो अब इसकी सेटिंग क्या है, देखो मैंने हमेशा बोला है कि हमेशा ये ध्यान रखो कि आप लोगों को ना अपनी पोम्स के बैकग्राउंड अच्छे से पता हो। क्यों? क्योंकि इट ऑलवेज गिव्स अस एन आइडिया कि क्या एग्जैक्टली बात हो रही है, क्या सिचुएशन है, किधर वो चीज़ हो रही है। सो दीज थिंग्स रियली मैटर। ओके, सो ये जो पोम है ये कहाँ पे सेट है, ये एक वाइट हाउस में सेट है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे एक लिटिल गर्ल, ये लिटिल वर्ड का बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस है, which is giving us an indication that the child is not a mature child, an immature kid we are here referring to, ठीक है। उसका नाम क्या है, उसका नाम है बेलिंडा, एंड शी इज लिविंग विद हर पेट्स, और उसके कुछ पेट्स हैं। तो वहां पे कहाँ रह रही है, वो एक वाइट हाउस में रह रही है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे एक छोटी सी लड़की जिसका नाम बेलिंडा है वो अपने पेट्स के साथ रह रही है। दैट इज व्हाट हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट। All right, got that. The setting has to be kept in your mind because it is always a mandate that you know where exactly the scene is taking place. Because since it's a poem, it must be taking place somewhere. All right, you can just talk about the story maybe randomly, but no, there also the setting and the background works well. But in case of the poems, you have to be a little more peculiar. You should know about it, okay? You have to be a little more particular. You need to know like what exactly it talks about, what exactly is the setting, what does it mention. These are the important points that needs to be considered. Okay, now what exactly is the setting and the title? See, we see that she is a kitten, a mouse, a dog and a dragon. So ये वाली चीज है कि अब बेलिंडा जो है उसके पास क्या क्या है। You have to be very particular कि क्या क्या pets हैं. This is very important. Okay, yep, okay धीरेन्द्र, no worries. Hey पुण्या, hi dear. So उसके पास क्या है, एक किटन है, एक माउस है, ठीक है, चूहा, एक डॉग है और एक ड्रैगन है, एंड दे हैव अ रेड वैगन। वैगन रेफर्स टू लाइक अ व्हीकल, ऑलराइट, जिसमें मतलब वो लोग बैठ जा सकते हैं। ओके, नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस हियर इज दैट दे ऑल लिव हैप्पीली, वो सब लोग बड़ी खुशी से रहते हैं, प्लेइंग विद ईच अदर, एक दूसरे के साथ खेलते हुए रहते हैं। दे मेड फन ऑफ द ड्रैगन, लेकिन वो सब मिलके ना ड्रैगन का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, बिकॉज ही वॉज अ कावर्ड। कावर्ड इज लाइक हु लैक्स करेज, ठीक है, ये आपको पता है। देखो मैंने ये बात बहुत बार बोली है, मैं हर सेशन में हर टाइम ये रिपीट करती रहती हूँ जब भी कोई भी सेशन लेके आती हूँ कि आपका जो वर्ड नॉलेज है वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। आपका वोकैबुलरी बैंक अगर लोडेड नहीं है तो आपको ही प्रॉब्लम होगी, क्योंकि हमें रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन जब कॉम्प्रीहेंड करना होता है वहाँ पे अगर आप लोगों को वर्ड्स नहीं समझ आ रहे होते ना तो वो आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है सेंटेंस का मतलब समझने का। इन दैट रियली लाइक लैंड्स यू इन अ मेजर प्रॉब्लम वेयर इन यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि इसका मुझे क्या आंसर लिखना है। So in order to get the answer well, you have to give the in order to get the answer well, you have to work at the words. Okay, is that clear? Black kitten, gray mouse and yellow color dog. Yep, श्लोक absolutely correct. ठीक है, so ये एक happy setting है till a pirate comes and the dragon bravely kills the pirate. तो बहुत ही happy setting रहती है जब तक एक pirate नहीं आ जाता है और ड्रैगन बहुत bravery के साथ उस pirate को मार देता है, and some action is seen in the poem. So the action that we are here talking about is seen at the very last point in the poem. After this episode, इस episode के बाद फिर से life resumes as earlier. पहले की तरह फिर से life start हो जाती है. So now what is the title talking about? The title is introducing us to a dragon. ठीक है, जो टाइटल का सिग्निफिकेंस जो मैंने आपको बोला है कि हमेशा आपको जो टाइटल है उसका जस्टिफिकेशन साथ के साथ उसका सिग्निफिकेंस आपको क्लियर होना चाहिए। ठीक है, इट्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट। अगर आपको उसका सिग्निफिकेंस पता है, उसका जस्टिफिकेशन पता है, देन दैट्स गुड फॉर यू योर ओन सेल्फ, सो कीप इट इन योर माइंड। So the title is introducing us to a dragon whose name is Custard, जिसका नाम कस्टर्ड है। It prepares us for a humorous tale. Humorous क्या होता है? Humorous basically refers to what it talks about the funny aspect. ऑल राइट, कि वो हमें एक फनी, ये वाली जो टेल है ना, ये बेसिकली एक बैलेट है। बैलेट क्या होता है? बैलेट इज लाइक व्हेन द पोम इज रिटर्न, प्लीज नोट दिस डाउन, ओके? द पोम इज अ बैलेट। बैलेट इज लाइक व्हेन अ पोम और एनीथिंग which is being written in just short stanzas, very short stanzas, and in this poem you see that there are a lot many stanzas, all right, like more than 10 stanzas they are there in this particular poem. That is why it comes under the category of ballad. All right, is that clear? How to write report and article, please tell me. धीरेन्द्र बेटा, report writing में कुछ नहीं करना होता, like that is pretty easy. All you need to do is that you have to just make certain notes, that's it, on the basis of the clues that are being given to you. Article में आपको सिर्फ उसको जो भी hints दे रखे हैं उससे बस एक title देना होता है और उसको 3 passages में divide करना होता है। पहले passage में introduction, second में आप पूरा उसके बारे में main content, third is where you are just analyzing and concluding it. Okay, I cannot go into like a detail right now because we are already into one of the topics, all right? However, you may connect with me for this very particular thing in this special class. Okay, is that clear? So now we see that the title is like talking about, sorry, the title is introducing us to a humorous tale. That means a funny story, a story wherein the things are presented in quite an exaggerated manner. I mean the Belinda, sorry, the little girl Belinda, she, her power is being compared to that of a barrel full of bears. All right, and those like mouse and dog, like they could chase away the lion. So these are not the things which are like appropriately like compared. However, they are being exaggerated. Like you are just trying to say more about something which is not really true. Okay, that is what the setting in the title is. Now what we are going to do is like we are now coming to the theme, which is again one of the very important things. This theme is a whimsical fantasy. And whimsical क्या होता है? Amusing. ठीक है, ये वाली जो पोम है ना, ये एक विम्सिकल फैंटेसी है। विम्सिकल का मतलब होता है अम्यूजिंग, यानी कि ह्यूमरस। इसमें एक लड़की है बेलिंडा जो अपने पेट्स के साथ रहती है एक छोटे से घर में। द मेन थीम इज, दिस इज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर। इसका जो मेन पॉइंट है वो यही है, अपीयरेंस वर्सेस रियलिटी। दिस इज द मेन पॉइंट, बिकॉज व्हाट appears to be true is not really true, that is not the reality. However, what is real is not appearing on the scene. Okay, so ये appearance versus reality है, like the pets who appeared, okay, who appeared courageous turn out to be the real cowards. जो दिखा रहे थे कि हम बहुत ज्यादा brave है, हम बहुत ज्यादा courageous है, वो असल में क्या निकले? वो असल में सही में बुज़दिल निकले, ठीक है? वो जिनमें हिम्मत नहीं थी, जिनमें bravery नहीं थी। When there is a crisis, like you can always judge a person, okay, you can always judge a person, all right, when he or she is in crisis. ऑल राइट, अगर आप किसी को, मतलब अगर आप किसी प्रॉब्लम में हो और उस वक्त आपको किसी की हेल्प चाहिए या आपको खुद की ब्रेवरी टेस्ट करनी है, सो यू कैन सी योर सेल्फ, ओके, लाइक यू कैन जस्ट जज योर सेल्फ, लाइक इफ यू आर ब्रेव इनफ और नॉट। सो द ड्रैगन हु वाज मेड फन ऑफ फॉर हिज कवर्डाइज, मतलब वो ड्रैगन जिसका मजाक बनाया गया था उसकी खुद की बुजदिलता के लिए, इज द ब्रेवेस्ट ऑफ देम। वो सबसे ज्यादा ब्रेव निकला एंड फियरलेसली, मतलब विदाउट एनी फियर, ही फेसेस द बुलेट शॉट्स, all right, of the pirate and eats him up. So that is what defines the appearance versus reality. The people, the pets who were appearing to be like very courageous, who showed themselves and boasted about their bravery and courage, were the real cowards when the actual difficult situation comes up. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Is that clear? Coward is a person who lacks courage and bravery. ओके, जिसमें हिम्मत नहीं होती है, जिसमें क्या कहते हैं, किसी चीज को फेस करने की क्षमता नहीं होती है। ऑल राइट, दैट इज अ पर्सन हु इज अ कावर्ड। Central idea of any poem is based on the fact that that is what like we are doing here. Theme refers to the central idea only. Like this is about the foundation जिस पे आपका poem based है. So जितने भी poems सबके syllabus में मैंने सबके central ideas आपको बताए हैं, तो आपको इतना परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है. I hope you have attended all my sessions because I have mentioned clearly in all my sessions like what are the things that needs to be considered. Okay. Now the other pets, okay, what do we see? The other pets, जो बाकी के दूसरे pets हैं, they praise him. वो उसको praise करते हैं for some time, but start giving explanations for their behavior. They also claim that they had been there in the dragon's place, they would have behaved more courageously. तो जो बाकी के pets होते हैं ना, वो उसको कुछ time के लिए तो मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा praise करते हैं, ठीक है? फिर वो खुद ही boast करने लग जाते हैं कि अगर मैं इस position पे होता तो मैं ऐसे करता. All right. So what do we see? So the second major theme of the poem is what? Hypocrisy. दोगलापन. यानी आप किसी के सामने कुछ और हो और किसी के पीछे कुछ और हो. ठीक है? Is that clear? So last stanza में हमें ये दिखाई देता है कि कुछ भी चेंज नहीं हुआ है. जब ड्रैगन ने अपनी ब्रेवरी प्रूव कर दी उसके बाद कुछ भी चेंज नहीं हुआ है. अदर्स बाकी के जो लोग हैं वो अभी भी उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं. Alright, that is what you have to consider. The others still make fun of him. That's what you need to consider. I hope I am clear on this. ठीक है? Is that clear to everybody? Got that? समझ में आ गया? That others still continue to make fun of him. Okay, and nothing has changed even after the dragon has proved his bravery. ऑल राइट, चलिए अब हम चलते हैं हमारे स्टेंजर्स की तरफ. आपका जो फर्स्ट स्टेंजर है, ठीक है, उसमें ये बहुत क्लियरली दे रखा है कि वो क्या कर रही है, जो मतलब जो क्या किया जा रहा है. जो पोएट है हमारे, ठीक है, वो हमें इंट्रोड्यूस करा रहे हैं कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ द पोएम से, यानी कि जो जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं. ऑल राइट, देयर वाज अ गर्ल, एक लड़की है जिसका नाम है बेलिंडा, हु लिव्ड इन अ वाइट हाउस विद अ माउस. ठीक है, एक किटन है, एक डॉग है, एक ड्रैगन है. सो आपको ये चीजें याद रखनी है. ऑल राइट, एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज वर पेट्स, और ये सब लोग उसके पेट्स हैं. ठीक है, सो द स्टोरी इज नॉट अ रियल वन, इट इज जस्ट अ वर्क ऑफ फिक्शन, इट्स जस्ट एन इमेजिनरी फैंटेसी, it is just a whimsical fantasy. That means an amusing fantasy. Alright, so Ogden Nash, alright, he was really known for writing the stories which were amusing and for children. Alrighty, clear? Stanza 2 जब हमारा आता है, हम इसमें क्या देखते हैं, जो किटन का नाम है वो क्या है, इंक है. Alright, और जो माउस का नाम है वो है ब्लिंक. Can you guess and tell me why the kitten has been named ink and why the mouse has been named blink? All right, this is what, like, you should have a reason, like when you are like you see anything written in a poem, because in all the poems there is always a concept behind it. Okay, we cannot go ahead with anything just like that. You need to understand what's the concept. If you're understanding the concept well, that helps you all to just get into the right kind of sorry, just to get into the right kind of answer writing. And answer writing is something that you are being thoroughly judged upon. Okay. Yes, hi Poonam. Hello dear, a very good morning. Quickly tell me everybody. Quickly. जल्दी बताइए. Why the kitten has been named Ink and why the mouse has been named Blank. Quickly. What is the right answer? Black kitten, yeah. Yeah, but absolutely correct. Since the color of the kitten is black, so that is why it has been named Ink. And the mouse, you know, the mouse is in the habit of blinking its eyes a lot, many times. That's why it's being named Blank. So she called the mustard because it was as sharp as mustard. ठीक है, मतलब इतना strong होता है जैसे कि सरसों strong होती है, मतलब एकदम sharp, तीखी एकदम, like that. Okay, and the little pet dragon Custard because he was a coward. All right. Now they had a red wagon. उनके पास एक ये vehicle था उनका खेलने वाला, right? I mean, it was where they were sitting. So the poet is now emphasizing what? Like he used the words realio and trulio in it in order to make the reader believe that it was a real dragon. Please note that realio and trulio, they are not the words in English dictionary. They are coming under the poetic license. Okay, so the poet has distorted the words really and truly in order to maintain the rhyme scheme and in order to have a musical effect in the poem. Okay, so as to make the poem rhythmic, he has distorted these two words realio and trulio, which actually means the real, which actually means really and truly. Okay, so here comes the poetic license. Like the poet has got a right to use the words the way he wants to, because that can be be done when like somebody is dealing with the poems and the poet has the total right on it. Okay, is that clear everyone? Got it? ठीक है. सो सारे स्टेंजास में आपको ये बात ध्यान रखनी होती है कि कब क्या बोला जा रहा है, कहाँ पे चीजें चेंज हो रही हैं, कहाँ पे किसको क्या कहते हैं क्या कहते हैं इंट्रोड्यूस किया जा रहा है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन वी हैव द नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा. स्टेंजा 3 में क्या है? पोएट डिस्क्राइब्स द ड्रैगन. अब ना ये बात हमेशा ध्यान रखो, जब भी आपके फिजिकल एट्रीब्यूट से रिलेटेड कोई भी बात होती है ना, यू हैव टू टेक इट इन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैनर. ठीक है, आपको जैसे भी मतलब किसी भी पोम में, किसी भी चैप्टर में, किसी भी कैरेक्टर को जब भी फिजिकली एक प्रॉपर तरीके से डिस्क्राइब किया जाता है, सो यू ऑलवेज वर्क ऑन दोज वर्ड्स. ठीक है, हमेशा ध्यान रखो कि आप उन वर्ड्स को थोड़ा रियल लेवल पे कंसिडर कर रहे हो एंड यू आर लर्निंग देम. Okay, because if you are learning the contextual words that are being described in a physical attribute for someone, so that helps us in getting good marks. Okay, that makes your answer really worthy. Yeah, the teacher gets this impression that yes, the student has actually studied it. All right, because that means that you are trying to use the words that are being there in your book. That means you have done a thorough reading, a keen reading has been done on your part. All right, so that's like very important. Got that? समझ में आया? So, पोएट ने कैसे डिस्क्राइब किया ड्रैगन को? इट हैड बिग शार्प टीथ, उसके बिग शार्प टीथ थे, स्पाइक्स ऑन इट्स बैक और उसके बैक पे स्पाइक्स थे और उसके स्केल्स अंडरनीथ थे. ठीक है, ये बोला गया है. ठीक है, ऐसे डिस्क्राइब किया गया है. इट्स माउथ, उसका माउथ कैसा था? उसका जो माउथ था इट वाज लाइक अ फायर प्लेस, वो फायर प्लेस की तरह था. और उसका नोज जो था वो चिमनी की तरह था एंड हिज क्लॉज वर लाइक डैगर्स. Okay, so there here we see that metaphor has come in. I'll be telling you that in the literary devices. अभी के लिए just understand this कि उसका mouth has been compared to a fireplace. Nose is the chimney from where the smoke is like letting out. And his claws, they were like daggers. Okay, now the poet takes the poetic license. जो poet है, ठीक है, वो poetic license क्या कहते हैं यहाँ पे use करता है और वो distort करता है words को, यानी कि खराब करता है उनको, उनकी spelling को खराब करता है. जैसे कि words हुए really और truly, as realio and trulio, in order to bring in the comic effect. I mean, in order to create that amusing effect, in order to create that humorous effect. Okay, keep it in your mind. Now, let's get going towards the fourth stanza. In the fourth stanza, poet is describing the bravery of characters. So this is basically working as a hyperbolic, okay, like statements. Basically, like here in hyperbola क्या होता है? Hyperbola is basically a figure of speech, which means when you are like using the mode of exaggeration. That means that you are talking in a sense which is like over something. So यहाँ पे जो bravery है characters की, that has been described in an over manner. Because see, Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears. यानी कि इतने सारे bears, एक bear आपके सामने आ जाए, you'll be like really afraid because bear is like very powerful, okay, and has got a lot of power and strength, and little Belinda who is like a very small creature in front of it, so she's been compared to a barrel. पूरा एक container आप ले लो which is being filled with a lot of bears, which is completely a hyperbolic statement. Okay, so you need to remember the comparisons that are being made so that later on when we are going to talk about the parents versus reality, all right, then in that case, or the concept of hypocrisy, then in that case you have to just bring in all these things. So her pet cat, जो उसका pet cat था और जो rat था, could chase away lions. ऐसा क्या था कि जो ना मतलब उनको वो ना भगा सकते हैं इनको डर से. किसको? lions को. कौन? pet cat यानी कि ink, okay, and rat यानी कि blink. Alright, they could chase away the lions, which is like not possible at all, right? And the dog was as brave as angry tiger, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, no dog can ever be as brave as tiger. Alright, but Custard always search for a nice safe cage. अब ना ये question बहुत important है, like it can come in your examination of course. Like why is it that Custard always search for a nice safe cage, though he proved his bravery at the end by killing the pirate? Right? Do you all agree with me? इसमें बेटा जो आंसर लिखना है वो अच्छे से अभी समझ लो, कल भी मैंने ये आंसर आप लोगों को करवाया था, जो भी मैंने इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस ऑन पॉम्स करवाए थे. दैट कस्टर्ड वी हैव टू राइट एन आंसर इन सच अ वे वेयर इन वी आर गिविंग एन इंडिकेशन दैट ही वाज नॉट इवन रॉन्ग इन डूइंग इट. Okay, why? Because Custard, being a dragon, being a huge animal, he might be, words देखो मैं क्या use कर रही हूँ, might or may. So he might be aware of his capabilities, and since he loved his friends, so he didn't want to harm his friends. That is why he was always asking for a place where he is away from them, so that in any given situation he doesn't harm them. Okay, so that could be the answer. Please remember that it's an important point I am making right here. If you understand it, it's gonna be good for you later on. Don't tell me मैम आपने ये नहीं बताया था, क्योंकि मैंने ये सारे सेशंस में हाईलाइट किया है. ठीक है, ये रियल में एक important point है. You need to take it a bit more seriously. ठीक है, noted? Great. So the words might and may has to be like there. Keep it in your mind. Now, coming to the next stanza, Belinda tickled her pet dragon. Tickling is like gudgudi karna. And that made him laugh and wiggle. Wiggle is the sound that he makes while laughing. ओके, विगलिंग इज दैट साउंड. ठीक है, सो उसको गुदगुदी कर रही है और वो हंसता जा रहा है. ठीक है, और उस मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा मतलब आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल वाली हंसी हो जाती है ना जब आपको कोई गुदगुदी कर रहा होता है. यू आर लाइक गेटिंग आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल, दैट इज द थिंग. सो शी केप्ट ऑन डूइंग दैट विद हिम. वो करती जा रही थी, एंड शी वाज डूइंग दैट मर्सीलेसली. मर्सीलेसली का क्या मतलब होता है कि वो उस पर दया नहीं खा रही, मतलब उसको चैन नहीं लेने दे रही, उसको सांस नहीं लेने दे रही है, एंड शी इज कंटिन्यूसली डूइंग इट. सो अदर पेट्स सेट इन द रेड वैगन एंड मेड फन ऑफ हिम. बाकी के जो पेट्स हैं वो रेड वैगन में बैठ गए छोटे से अपने, और उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं. उससे छोटे हैं और उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं. तो दे कॉल्ड हिम पर्सिवल. ऑल राइट, यहाँ पे हमारा एक बहुत जरूरी फिगर ऑफ स्पीच आता है विच इज इल्यूशन. वो लोग उसको क्या बोलते हैं, परसिवल. परसिवल कौन होता है? परसिवल एक नाइट होता है किंग आर्थर के कोर्ट में, जो अपनी बुजदिलता के लिए जाना गया था. मतलब ही हैड टू लाइक फाइट समथिंग एंड ही डिडंट डू इट, लाइक ही इंस्टेड रैन अवे. सो दैट इज वेयर लाइक व्हेनेवर समबडी इज बीइंग रेफर्ड टू एज परसिवल, दैट मीन्स दैट तू बुजदिल है, तेरे में हिम्मत नहीं है. ठीक है, तेरे में करेज नहीं है. So that is why the word percival has been mentioned here. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Hi Mariam, hello dear. Hi Shivdat, a very good morning. You're late, Shivdat. Okay, ma'am, is not this irony that dragon wants a safe cage in the end of the poem after he proves his bravery? Yeah, Poonam, that is of course an irony that he wanted it, all right. But again, the answer is the same thing, that he might be, since he braved his bravery. So we know already that he was a brave animal and not a coward. But he was asking for a safe cage, and he agreed to this, that the others were more courageous to him because he might be the most mature out of all of them. Okay, and he might be aware of the fact that he could bring harm to them in case of any given situation. So he wanted his friends to be protected against him, and that is why he was just agreeing to what they were saying to keep them happy and like completely blinded to the actual truth. Okay, these are the words these are the things that you need to use these, मतलब create that aura of शायद. ठीक है, मे बी, माइट, ये वर्ड्स यूज करके आपको आंसर लिखना पड़ेगा. आप डेफिनेट आंसर नहीं लिख सकते हो कि ही वाज श्योर और ही न्यू दिस, राइट, लाइक दिस, दैट माइट बी ही वाज अवेयर ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट ही कुड हैव हार्म्ड हिम इन एनी गिवन सिचुएशन, बट ही वांटेड to like protect them, and that is why he might have asked for a nice safe cage, and then he might have agreed to whatever they were saying. So of course it's a little ironical thing, despite being brave he was not agreeing to it, might be because of the bond that he had with his friends. Okay, got that? Alrighty, ठीक है, no worries Shaddat. Alrighty, now moving next everybody, next stanza. The poet exaggerates Belinda's laughter by saying that she laughed so loudly that it seemed as if the house was shaking. फिर से यहाँ पर hyperbola आता है. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे बेसिकली क्या हो रहा है कि पोएट जो है वो एग्जैजरेट कर रहा है. पोएट एक लेवल से ज्यादा आपको क्या बता रहा है कि उसकी हंसी, वही छोटी सी बच्ची, उसकी हंसी ऐसी नहीं हो सकती थी कि वो अपना छोटा सा घर लिटिल व्हाइट हाउस को भी हिला डाले. इट वाज नथिंग लाइक दैट. सो ऑफ कोर्स दैट was working as an exaggeration which was absolutely wrong. Okay, is that clear? A question of trust and footprints without feet. I can find them in the please arrange. Yeah, sure, Shiddat. I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay. So Blink was encouraged. Blink बहुत ज़्यादा encourage हुआ था to see his master laughing. So he laughed, said weak. So ये weak जो है ये sound word है. So अब उसके master से क्या मतलब हुआ बेलिंडा. So मतलब Blink जो है बेसिकली माउस बहुत ज्यादा एनकरेज हो गया. ठीक है, क्या देख के एनकरेज हो गया कि मेरे बेलिंडा वाज आल्सो लाफिंग. सो लाइक ही आल्सो स्टार्टेड लाफिंग. सो द लाफ वाज बेसिकली अ काइंड ऑफ like fun that was against whom? That was against the dragon. So Custard got disturbed with this kind of behavior and he wanted to retire to his cage where he felt safe. Indian Mustard teased him by asking his age whenever he asked for his cage. So वो teasing is like मजाक उड़ाना किसी का. तो अब कस्टर्ड बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब हो गया कि ये क्या बिहेवियर यहाँ पे चल रहा है. अगेन अगर ये आता है कि वो डिस्टर्ब क्यों हुआ, सो माइट बी ही वाज मैच्योर इनफ टू नॉट टैकल to be able to tackle the immaturity of these creatures, and that is why he wanted to retire to a safe cage. Use the words such as might or may. It's like important. Please don't go definite with the answers in these cases because these things are not being mentioned. This is what we are assuming and analyzing on the basis of the situation given to us. Okay, all right. Is that like my master beta? If you are so interested in the summaries, go and see some other session because herein I want to like make sure that everybody is understanding it in a particular manner. Because the questions they are not going to be asked in the summary form, right? So I want to tell you all stanza by stanza, then only you guys are gonna understand it. However, if you're not interested, please be kicked out of the class. Okay? Now, everybody, let's get going. Stanza 7. Suddenly, all the laughter faded away when they heard a strange sound. The word strange has been given in your poem by the word nasty. ठीक है, सो अचानक से क्या होता है, जितनी भी उनकी जो हंसी होती है ना वो फेड हो जाती है जब उन्हें एक अजीब सी आवाज सुनाई देती है. फ्रॉम द विंडो दे सॉ अ पायरेट कमिंग अप. पायरेट बेसिकली समुद्री डाकू होते हैं, लेकिन उसने क्या देखा कि उनके घर में घुस रहा है वो समुद्री डाकू पायरेट. ठीक है, कहाँ पे आ रहा है, उनके घर में आ रहा है. ठीक है, मस्टर्ड अब क्या हुआ देखो, ये वाला जो सिचुएशन है इट्स अ सिचुएशन ऑफ क्राइसिस, यानी कि प्रॉब्लम वाली सिचुएशन है, दिक्कत वाली प्रॉब्लम है. तो अब क्या हुआ जब ये उन्होंने देखा ना कि ये आ रहा है, सो मस्टर्ड ग्राउल्ड आउट ऑफ फियर. ग्राउलिंग इज लाइक कि उसने आवाज निकाली. दिस इज अगेन अ साउंड वर्ड व्हिच कम्स अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ ओनोमेटोपिया, दैट इज अ फिगर ऑफ स्पीच. मस्टर्ड ने फिर से ग्राउल किया डर के मारे. एंड किटन सेड म्याउच एंड बेलिना क्राइड ऊ, राइट, एंड शी टर्न्ड पेल विद फियर. उसका जो चेहरा है ना वो क्या कहते हैं डर से पीला पड़ गया. तो अब आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे पहले बेलिंडा शी वाज एज ब्रेव एज अ बैरल फुल ऑफ बियर, राइट, एंड द डॉग कुड चेज अवे द टाइगर. All right, and this rat and the cat, okay, they could have chased away the lion. All right, but now they were all growling. They were like completely in fear. They were really scared. All their bravery was now in vain. They were not at all brave. They were the real cowards. They used to make fun of the dragon. However, they themselves were, in a way, indirectly making fun of themselves. Okay? So अब स्टेंजा 8 में क्या है एवरीवन? शिवदत्त मैम आप क्लास 12 भी पढ़ाते हो क्या? माय सिस्टर वांट टू स्टडी फ्रॉम यू, inspiring my grammar sessions. Shivdat, no dear, I am not teaching the 12th standard right now. Okay, however, I'll see like if from the next session, okay, if I'll be teaching. But if your sister wants to like have some doubts or something related to anything, then of course in the special classes that I conduct, which are absolutely the free classes, okay, you can just use my code PSH10 and you can be in the classes. So so then she can come over there and she can just ask me her doubts. That's not gonna be problematic. Whatever the topic is, I'm gonna help her with that. Okay, so that's gonna be like absolutely fine. She can come there, she can ask me the doubts because since the exams are approaching, she might need some help, so she can always ask me in the special classes. Alrighty, is that clear? Okay, so now the stanza 8 which says what? The pirate had 2 pistols in his hands. उसके हाथ में 2 pistols थी. ठीक है, और एक स्मॉल स्वॉर्ड था उसके टीथ के बीच में. सो अगेन वी सी द फिजिकल एट्रीब्यूट्स आर बीइंग मेंशन्ड है, सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी क्लियर. अगेन फिजिकल एट्रीब्यूट्स में कंपैरिजन भी आ सकता है. वी नेवर नो, सच क्वेश्चंस कैन बी देयर इन आवर एग्जामिनेशंस. यू हैव टू बी स्मार्ट एनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हाँ भाई क्या आ सकता है क्या नहीं. But yeah, the thing is you cannot leave any loose end. Okay, प्लीज सेलेक्टिव स्टडी मत करना. मैं बहुत बार बोल चुकी हूँ. सेलेक्टिव स्टडी करके जाते हैं बच्चे, पछताते हैं एग्जाम्स में. आई डोंट वांट दैट टू हैपन टू ऑल ऑफ यू. Okay, hey Dhruv, hi dear, very good morning. So, physical attributes में क्या है? The pirate had two pistols in his hands and a small sword between his teeth. He had a black beard and one of his legs was made of wood. He came intending to harm. So, he had that intention to harm, to cause harm. He looks frightened all the brave creatures in the house. तो उसके जो looks थे ना, उसने सबको डरा दिया था जितने भी brave creatures थे. मैंने यहाँ brave को single inverted commas में क्यों लिखा है? Because they all boasted themselves to be brave. They were like really making fun of the coward who was actually a brave creature. Okay, it's just that like the word coward comes from their description. Okay, like it comes from their mouth. Nowhere the nowhere the poet has used the term, the adjective coward with that of the dragon. Okay, like intentionally. It is always coming from the characters, and that is what you need to keep in your mind. Got that? Clear? बेटा कोई डाउट होता है फॉर्म से रिलेटेड या किसी चीज से रिलेटेड, आई मीन आपको जब लगता है, जब मैं बता रही हूँ आपको, ऑलवेज आस्क मी, पूछ लिया करो, ठीक है. नाउ stanza 9, because they are not brave really, but they thinks नहीं आएगा ना शिद्दत, they के साथ think आता है, right? We use think, the plural form of the verb. Got that, Mariam? Great, Shiddat. Now stanza 9. Belinda turned yellow due to fear and cried for help. अब वहां पे उसकी सारी क्या कहते हैं ब्रेवरी है वो पानी में चली गई. She was not at all brave. She was just boasting to be one. Okay, and that is why like the chapter, the very poem is telling us, never boast what you are not, because it doesn't help in long run. It will never help. It may land you in some problem instead, because if you're giving an impression that you're so good at something and later on if your expertise is needed in that particular field, what are you gonna do then? Maybe like you'll be like really landing into a problem, nobody is there around you, maybe your friends are under the impression he'll handle it, he's good at it, but you're not actually good because you know the truth inside. So live in a very true manner. What you are, show that to be. Do not show what you are not, because that never helps. Never. Okay, like getting a fake impression or a fake praise or just being flattered by someone for something that you are not is like completely a bullshit. Okay, just be what you are. Just show what you are. Pretentious nature never help in anything. If you're pretending to be what you're not, then in the long run, it's gonna be problematic for you yourself and not anybody else. And that is what the given poem is talking about. So whenever the value-based questions comes in, so you have to incorporate the points which are actually the worthy ones in the context of the poem. Okay, you have to always relate it with the poem, because Belinda and Mustard Ink and Belinda, Mustard Ink and Blink, they all landed into the problem, and there was really nobody, like if they were so brave they could have faced the particular situation, but no, it was the Custard who was the actual person who came in for their help. Okay, so please relate it that way. Got it? So we see Mustard, who was as brave as a tiger, ran away with a fearful cry. मतलब डर के साथ, मतलब वो चिल्लाता हुआ निकल गया. Ink went down. देखो ink के साथ ना एक word use हुआ है, trickle down. It's an important thing. ठीक है, ट्रिकल का क्या मतलब होता है? जब ऐसे बह के जाना, बूंद 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 जब बह के चली जाती है ना, यानी कि अगर मैं मतलब एक पेन की इंक निकाल देती हूँ, ठीक है, तो वो जो इंक है वो बह जाती है. So ink went down. Trickling is a word which has been used because the ink that is always in a liquid state, okay? And the ink when it just flows down, we use the word trickling for it. कि वो बह के जा रही है बूंद बूंद. Alright, so please note it down. This was one of the questions that was being asked in your PYQs. Alright, however, I'll come up with these sessions wherein I am just specifying the PYQs. ठीक है, so वहाँ पे आप लोग ध्यान से मतलब उस सेशन को अटेंड करना. Okay? So we see that ink went down. कहाँ पे चली गई? वो बेसमेंट में चली गई. And the mouse went inside its hole. और जो माउस है वो अपने होल में चला गया. Which is like mouse hold. ये word है. ठीक है? So all the characters who were defined as brave and courageous, they acted like cowards. So जितने भी characters थे जो कि brave थे और courageous थे, ठीक है, वो उन्होंने कैसे act किया? उन्होंने cowards की तरह act किया. ठीक है? That is what the real thing is. Hey Sanchita, hi dear. Now coming the next stanza, which is a very important stanza because here it is proved that the word coward is not meant for the dragon. Instead, it is meant for all the other characters in the poem. Okay, so the dragon who was made fun of, okay, acted like a hero. He was a hero in reality. He jumped to attack, making a noise like an engine. Engine की तरह उसने ऐसे मतलब अटैक किया. ही हिट द ग्राउंड, उसने जो ग्राउंड को हिट किया अपनी टेल के साथ, एंड इट साउंडेड लाइक, और कैसा लगा, जैसे कि मेटल रब कर रहा है अगेंस्ट ईच अदर इन द प्रिजन्स. ही अटैक द पायरेट, उसने पायरेट को अटैक किया जैसे कि एक रॉबिन बर्ड अटैक करता है वॉर्म्स को, और फिर वो उसे सारा खा गया. सो हेयर इन वी सी द एक्शन, ओके, बाय हीरो ऑफ द poem, that is Custard. The Custard, who was still now being shown as a suppressed character who didn't have much role, all right, was really seen in real action. Okay, that is what we see here. So here comes the real concept of everything, that is appearance versus reality. It started from where all the other characters, they were like running away in pain, sorry, in fear, and now he is the one who comes into the very scene and acts like acts like a hero. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट एवरीबडी, ऑन मॉडल्स, वन मॉडल इज नॉट अवेलेबल इन प्ले पे. मरियम बेटा मॉडल्स तो बहुत बार बेटा अवेलेबल है, चेक इट, इट्स अवेलेबल. आप मेरा नाम लिख दो मॉडल्स, and just go ahead with this, what do we call, write my name along with it. Okay, write the name of the topic models and Preksha Sharma, you'll get it. Okay, don't worry, I think I taken up the models day before yesterday, check it out. All right, like in a couple of days ago only I have taken a session on models. शायद कल या परसों, एक बार चेक करो आप, ठीक है, मिल जाएगा. Is a metaphor or not? Ink trickling, I mean ink is a metaphor. ठीक है, इंक जो नाम दिया है वो एक तरीके का मेटाफर है. इंक ट्रिकलिंग इज बेसिकली लाइक टेलिंग अस लाइक इट्स अ सिंबोलिज्म, इट्स मोर लाइक अ सिंबोलिज्म, बट ऑफ कोर्स इंक जो है दैट इज मेटाफोरिकल. कंबाइनिंगली अगर बात भी करोगे इंक ट्रिकलिंग की, सो यू कैन नॉट लाइक कॉल इट लाइक एग्जैक्टली अ मेटाफोर, इंस्टेड इट इज मोर लाइक अ सिंबोलिज्म. ओके, गॉट दैट. Stanza 11, everybody. Pirate was shocked to see the dragon. His mouth was left open, gaping. Gaping is like कि मुंह खुला का खुला रह जाएगा. He drank some alcohol. उसने थोड़ा सा ना मतलब क्या कहते हैं शराब, अल्कोहल पिया अपनी पॉकेट से to gather the courage. देखो इसमें सारे वर्ड मीनिंग्स हैं जो इम्पोर्टेंट है. मैंने पहले करवा रखे हैं सब कुछ. प्लीज मेक श्योर कि वर्ड्स के मीनिंग्स लर्न करो. ठीक है, उसने 2 बुलेट शॉट्स दिए, फायर करे नर्वसनेस में, और उसने अपना एम मिस कर दिया. कस्टर्ड फटाफट से अटैक करता है पायरेट को और उसको गॉबल कर लेता है. गॉबलिंग इज लाइक सारा गपा गप खा जाना. सो ही गॉबल्ड हिम अप, ओके, बाय अटैकिंग हिम. दैट इज लाइक दैट ही एट हिम कंप्लीटली. ऑलराइट, पूरा अच्छे से खा जाता है वो उसको. गॉट इट. चलिए नेक्स्ट एंजा. अब क्या होता है, एवरी वन वॉज वेरी हैप्पी एज द पायरेट वॉज किल्ड. सब लोग बड़े ही खुश हो गए कि अब तो पायरेट मर गया. बेलिंडा ने क्या किया, बेलिंडा हग्ड कस्टर्ड एंड मस्टर्ड लिक्ड हिम. सो लिकिंग ऑफ द डॉग इज बेसिकली अ साइन दैट द डॉग इज शोइंग लव. ओके, नो वन सिंपथाइज विद द पायरेट. किसी ने सिंपथी नहीं दिखाई पायरेट के साथ जो कि मर गया था. Ink and Blink danced around Custard to express their happiness and gratitude. So Ink और Blink यानी कि जो हमारा कैट और रैट है दोनों ना डांस करते हैं कस्टर्ड के अराउंड टू शो देयर हैप्पीनेस एंड ग्रेटिट्यूड. बट ऑल दीज जेस्चर्स दे वर शॉर्ट लिव्ड बिकॉज अगेन दे वुड शो व्हाट सी हेयर. After the celebration, their minds, they change their minds. यहाँ पे आ जाता है आपका hypocrisy, दोगलापन उनका. मतलब they were not ready to accept like what he did. They were not ready to give him the credit for what he did. Instead, that they were trying to boast themselves again in terms of their bravery, which was totally futile. It meant no sense. It was all like in vain. Okay, so Mustard said that he too flustered as in like कि वो थोड़ा सा मतलब कि उधर निकल गया था, मतलब बाहर की तरफ चला गया था. नहीं तो उसने भी ना वो ट्वाइस जितना कस्टर्ड ने एक्ट किया उससे भी डबल एक्ट करता ब्रेवरी में. इंक और ब्लैंक ने ज्वाइन किया मस्टर्ड को बोस्टिंग में. उन्होंने भी कहा हाँ हाँ राइट. उन्होंने क्या बोला कि अगर वो होते तो वो थ्राइस लेवल पे मतलब 3 गुना और ब्रेवरी दिखाते हैं। कस्टर्ड ने आयरॉनिकली एक्सेप्ट किया दैट एवरीबडी वाज ब्रेवर देन हिम। So यहाँ पे this is ironical. Why? Because what is ironical when something opposite happens? Of course, if I have done something तो मैं ये बोल दूंगी ना हाँ कि मैंने कर दिया था, हो गया, ठीक है। यहाँ पे भी बोस्ट करने की बात नहीं होती। बोस्टिंग नेवर पेज यू एनीथिंग। यू शुड ऑलवेज बी फिल्ड विद ग्रैटिट्यूड। if you have even helped someone, be filled with gratitude. Okay, don't boast it कि मैंने किया, मैं, I did it. Nothing like that really helps, and that's not even a good sign. We shouldn't be doing that. All right, it's like you must have heard in Hindi, "Neki kar darya mein dal." That is the thing that you should be having in your mind. If you're doing any good deed, do it and move ahead. Do not keep for the people to come and like clap for you or to praise you. Okay, that is not how the good deeds are done in life. If you have done something good, then definitely you'll get the credit for it directly or indirectly from the universe or from anywhere. But like waiting for the boasting or the praising or the fake praises from the people who are not really your friends, okay, and who like seem to be something else on their face and have got something else in their hearts, that is always not required, because anyway they are not happy for you, they are just showing it to be. So why do you need such kind of fake happiness from anybody? Do the good things in your life instead. Okay, got that everybody? Is that clear? Boasting मतलब दिखावा करना, दिखावा। बोस्टिंग का मतलब होता है दिखावा करना, ठीक है। जब आप बहुत ज्यादा शो ऑफ करते हो, लाइक आई बोस्ट, मैं तो इतना अच्छा पढ़ा लेती हूँ, मैं तो इतना अच्छा बोल लेती हूँ, या मैं तो इतना अच्छा कर लेती हूँ, सो दैट इज ऑल यूजलेस, दैट्स नॉट नीडेड इन लाइफ। इफ यू आर गुड, यू आर गुड, ओके, यू विल गेट द रिकग्निशन समहाउ। ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट द थिंग। सो आयरॉनिकली क्यों उसने एक्सेप्ट किया? आयरॉनिकली यहाँ पे इसलिए आया है बिकॉज ही वॉज ब्रेव, बट अगेन द आंसर दैट आई टोल्ड यू ऑल अर्लियर, दैट ही माइट बी अवेयर ऑफ द फैक्ट that his friends, they were not mature enough to understand the situation. Maybe like he wanted his friends to remain in that in their bubble world wherein they are happy thinking that they are more brave as compared to him. However, the reality was totally like different. The reality was totally opposite. Okay, so use these words. Sabko clear hai? Got it? Now the last stanza is a refrain. Refrain, what does it mean? That it's a repetition, okay, as of the first stanza. So these stanzas, they are being repeated. You see the use of the word still has been added in order to mark the continuity, that still, okay, herein like he is being considered as a coward. Even after Custard saved everyone's lives, the characters in the poem, like they continue to make fun of him, which is not the right thing. But Custard keeps crying for a nice safe cage is ironic, as even after Custard's brave act, he continues to search for a safe place. Okay, so the safe place is not like, might not be for himself, instead for his friends, because he might knew that he could have caused any harm to them in any of the like situations, because the way he attacked Pilot showed that he could easily gobble up anybody. Okay, is that clear? समझ में आया? Any doubt? Say something, guys. Like, is that clear? Give me a thumbs up if you all have understood what I told you all. फिर अब हम आते हैं हमारी लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस पे, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। देखो, एलिट्रेशन का यूज हुआ है। एलिट्रेशन क्या होता है? एलिट्रेशन इज द रेपिटेशन ऑफ द कॉन्सोनेंट साउंड, ऑलराइट, एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द वर्ड्स व्हिच आर क्लोजली कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर। ओके मरियम, सौभाग्य, तरना, ग्रेट गाइस, थैंक यू, या क्लियर। सो यहाँ पे आया कावर्ड एंड कस्टर्ड, सी साउंड, बियर्ड एंड ब्लैक, बर साउंड, brave barrel beers, burr sound, gulped and grog, okay, GG sound, then glee and gyrate, gur sound, okay. Metaphor hai chimney for a nose, so chimney has been indirectly compared to the nose for letting out of the smoke, ठीक है। Assonance क्या होता है? Assonance is the repetition of the vowel sound in between the letters. Understand what I'm saying? In between the letters or at the end of the words. Okay, for example, sound O आपको दिख रही है, no one mourned for में। sound I आपको दिख रही है, ink and blink in glee did, ठीक है। sound A दिख रही है, Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears and that ate the pirate, सो ये एसएनएस इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके लिए बेटा। यही रहेगा, मैं जिस फॉर्म में जो लिटरेरी डिवाइस बताती हूँ वो लर्न कर लो सीबीएसई सैंपल के पेपर के हिसाब से। इस बार फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीचेस ऐसे एग्जाम में आ रहे हैं कि आपको वो बोल देंगे कि ये फिगर ऑफ स्पीच है, ठीक है। मतलब कि जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल उन्होंने दे दिया बेलिंडा वॉज एज ब्रेव एज अ बैरल फुल ऑफ बेयर्स, वी हैव गॉट एसएनएस इन इट, ठीक है। उन्होंने बता दिया कि एसएनएस हैज बीन यूज्ड बाय द पोएट हियर, लाइक जस्ट जस्टिफाई। तो वहां पे जस्टिफाई करने के लिए आपको बताना है कि कैसे एसएनएस यूज हो रहा है, कौन सा लेटर यूज हो रहा है। हम बोलेंगे दैट द साउंड ए इज द लाइक prominent sound in the entire sentence. For example, A in Belinda was as a brave as a barrel a full of beers a. So that is how you would have to explain it. So you better learn whenever I mention it. It's gonna be like useful for you. Okay. Personification very important indeed. Personification क्या होता है? When human like attributes are being given to whom, right? Human like attributes are being given to the things which are not human. जैसे कि ink, blink, mustard and custard, they all have been personified. They are the animals and we are attaching all the human like attributes to them. ठीक है। इमेजरी है, विजुअल इमेजरी हुई है, ठीक है, स्टेंजाज में कि जब हमें डिस्क्राइब किया गया है ना कि पायरेट का रिएक्शन ऑन सीइंग द कस्टर्ड, सो आपके दिमाग में एक इमेज बन जाती है कि पायरेट है, उसने अपना मुंह खुला का खुला रह गया, डर गया वो, ठीक है, उसने शॉट किए 2 गन शॉट्स। All right, that is what is in our mind. Stanza 8 में pirate has been described with details about his physical appearance. In stanza 10 में आप देखते हो custard also attack also been described to create a picture in the reader's mind. Okay, so all these things are important. Now we are done with the poem, okay, which is what the tale of Custard the dragon. Now we are coming to the next poem, the trees. Can anyone tell me that who has written the trees? Anybody? Do you know that? Are you guys really studying well? Could you please come up with an answer? Who is the poet of the poem Trees? Quickly in the comment section. किसने लिखी है poem? Everybody. The trees. Quickly tell me, everybody. Yes, guys. वीरेंद्र, मैंने सेशन ले रखा है बेटा एक, उसमें लेटर टू एडिटर का आप मैं क्या कहते हैं लिख दो, फॉर्मल लेटर प्रेक्षा शर्मा ऑन द चैनल, यू विल गेट अ वीडियो, वॉच दैट वीडियो, यू विल गेट एन आइडिया लाइक हाउ आर वी सपोज टू राइट अ लेटर टू द एडिटर. Okay, Adriana Rich. Thank you, Dhirendra. Thank you so much. Alrighty, got that Akriti. Very good. Very good, Mandeep. Kindly work on the spelling. So far, everyone has given me the right spelling and I'm like glad. ठीक है? देखो इस poem में ना हमें broadly क्या बताया गया है, बहुत important poem है, ठीक है? पूरी poem like it is symbolic in nature. ठीक है, मैंने हमेशा आपको बताया है कि हमें हमेशा पोम का डीपर एनालिसिस देखना होता है, हमें हमेशा ये देखना होता है कि उसका एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है, व्हाट इज द रियल मीनिंग बीनीथ द वर्ड्स. यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो विद द समरीज. अगर आप समरीज के साथ अपने एग्जाम में जा रहे हो बेटा, मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे, कोई मतलब नहीं है. टीचर कभी भी एक ऐसे आंसर को मार्क्स नहीं अच्छे देती है जिसमें आपने समरी उठा के लिख दी. मुझे एक ऐसा आंसर चाहिए होता है विच इज एप्ट एज पर द गिवन क्वेश्चन. All right. You like a lot of students do like this, that they just go through the summary, they write summary in almost every kind of question that they come across. That is not how the good answer is written. So in case of the poems, you better understand the deeper analysis, like you get into the deeper understanding of it. It's very very important. Symbolic का मतलब होता है बेटा कि उसका आपकी पूरी poem का एक symbol है. The trees, जो the trees है ना, ये the trees नहीं है actually, they are the symbols used for women. ठीक है, औरतों के लिए जो ये ट्रीज है ये सिंबल है, ठीक है. सो एक तरीके से ये मेटाफोरिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, मतलब इनडायरेक्टली द विमेन हैज बीन कंपेयर्ड टू द ट्रीज. ओके, दैट इज व्हाट द गिवन पोएम इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. ऑलराइट, द ट्रीज, यहाँ पे आपने ये इमेज देखी है, यहाँ पे कैसे बनाया है. सो दिस इज बेसिकली शोइंग दैट लाइक इट इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग द विमेन एंड नॉट द ट्रीज इन रियलिटी. Okay, the trees are being used as a symbol. It's a metaphorical representation for the conditions of the women in a society. Okay, that's what it is talking about. ठीक है, clear? तो यहाँ पे हमारा क्या है, बेसिकली जो पोएम है दैट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द ह्यूमंस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विद नेचर्स. ऑल राइट, अब आप देखो कि थीम किस तरीके से बात कर रही है। जो ये पोम है हमें ये बता रही है कि जो ह्यूमंस का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है नेचर के साथ। तो नेचर इन टू सेंस, ठीक है, एक तो नेचर इज व्हाट, लाइक द एक्चुअल नेचर, the trees they are being cut, okay, and they are being planted inside the houses, they are being cut from the forest, and the humans in their small spaces, in their like mini gardens, in their house gardens, what are they doing? They're trying to create a mini forest kind of a thing. However, the actual place of a tree is in the forest, in the jungle, where they are actually meant for in order to spread the greenery around in the world, right? Okay. The next part, see, nature एक तो मैंने बता दिया, दूसरा part of the nature is the creation of the world, that is the women. Okay, like men is also a part of nature, similarly women is also a part of nature. So humans, like humans in general, representing the patriarchal society. Okay, the society which is being created by men, the society which is like being created by the orders of men. Okay, and the men, like the patriarchal society has got some conflict, like they have got some problems with nature, that is the women. Why? Because the women, they are not being given the rights that they are supposed to have. They are always being kept into the boundaries, they are kept under the four walls, they are not being allowed to move out. So that means there is always a conflict between them. They are kept under some sort of foundations, okay, and they are not allowed to exercise their rights and their powers. Okay, get into the actual theme of the particular poem. So what do we see? The next thing that is being mentioned here is the trees are cut from the forest to satisfy the human needs. So that is what the thing is. Like the trees from the outside world, they are being cut, and you're bringing the trees into your mini gardens, and you're just detaching the tree from its actual roots in the forest, and you're bringing it in your garden just for your own selfish nature, for your greed. All right, because you want to decorate your house, that is why you're bringing them from there, and you're playing with nature. You're not letting the nature the way it is, as it is being created by the Almighty. Okay, so they are grown in houses for decoration. So what happens here is, it is again reflecting to the fact the women, they are kept in the houses just to make sure that they are taking care of the household things, and they are not they are not being allowed to be out and to develop and grow. Okay, that is what it is talking about. Is that making sense to you? Is that clear? That's what Dhirendra beta, that's what I'm doing. Themes, guys, they are talking about the central ideas. Are you all understanding what I'm talking about? The poem is really one of the very important ones. Are you all understanding whatever I am mentioning? Yes, go ahead with your question. आई एम टेलिंग यू बेटा धीरेन्द्र, यही थीम है, यही सेंट्रल आइडिया है, मैं यही बता रही हूँ आपको, इसी को सेंट्रल आइडिया बोलते हैं. Okay, is that clear? Hey Hirsch. So we see that they are grown in houses for decoration. So the women, they are being kept in the houses just to like beautify themselves and to take care of the household chores. However, they are not being allowed to go outside and grow in terms of their professional life, as well as to some extent in their personal life as well. Their personal understanding and their personal education, that's like very important. However, अब वो एक मेन पॉइंट पे आते हैं जो यहाँ पे डिस्क्राइब किया है. द अंडरलाइंग थीम, दैट मीन्स द थीम बीनीथ द एक्चुअल वर्ड्स ऑफ द पोम इज द सोशल कंडीशन ऑफ विमेन एंड द ट्रांसजेंडर्स. यानी कि जो सोशल कंडीशन है, जो सोसाइटी में क्या कहते हैं औरतों की कंडीशंस है, ट्रांसजेंडर्स की जो कंडीशन है, वो इस पोम में बताई गई है. बिकॉज द वेरी पोएट एड्रियने रिच, शी वॉज अ फेमिनिस्ट. All right, she always wrote and fought for the rights of the women, because the women in the earlier times, they were not being treated equally. The women, they were not being given the rights. The women, they were not being given the rights to educate themselves. The women, they were just kept into the four walls, and they were not allowed to exercise their power, their strength outside those four walls. So this particular poem, it was being written in 1963 by Adrienne Rich, when the third wave of feminism was at its peak. That means the third wave was going on of feminism. Feminism was basically a movement fighting for the liberation, the liberation rights. Okay, basically the rights for women, so that they could also exercise their power and strength into the world outside. Is that making clear to everyone? समझ में आ रही है सबको ये बात? Yes, everyone. Was that that women should live in mountain time instead? No, do whatever she wants to do. Poonam, that is not being decided. This is basically the poem. that was being written. See, ये poem 1963 में लिखी गई थी बेटा. Today it's like 2022. The time has now completely been overturned. All right, you see the women exercising their power and strength, and the people, they consider them to be the completely equals. But in those times, the patriarchal society, I mean the society run by men, used to dominate and authorize, used to dominate the women, and they used to have their authority over them. So this particular poet, Adrienne Rich, via her writing, wanted to spread the information among the people that they should be treated equally. There is nothing like one is low or one is superior or one is inferior and the another is superior. Nothing like that. Okay, so nobody decided that. It just came from the ages. But now it has been completely removed. All right. Like, however, in some remote areas, the particular practices are still going on, but the very advanced versions of the societies, they are taking care of the fact that like everybody is given the equal right in education. Okay, we have one chapter in our syllabus also, which is Bholi. All right, wherein the Indian author, okay, VCK Abbas, he is basically talking about what? He is talking about the empowerment of women and the importance of education for women. So, you know, like these chapters, like the trees and the Bholi, sorry, the trees and the chapter Bholi, they are like basically talking about one single theme. So, anything can be related. Okay, in your examination, do not leave anything. Don't do selective study. So, ये वाले points आपके central ideas हैं. Yep, okay, Dhirendra, I'll share it on community. And STEM's doing. Ajay, I'm coming to that. Don't be worried about it. All right, Poonam, I hope you got the answer. Okay, they are exerting their forces to move out, but if we have to write about all, what will be the points? Ajay, I'm coming to that. Yeah, Dhirendra, yes. I'm talking about the community, not on Telegram. You'll be getting it on community. I hope you are on there, like you are there and you have downloaded the app. ठीक है? समझ में आ गया central idea क्या है? Did you get that? This is the central idea of the poem. इसके basis पे पूरी poem लिखी गई है. Basic idea ही यही है. Okay, in order to describe this, that now the women, they are moving outside of their like foundations, out of their like four walls, and they are now growing. They are not like turning into anything which is not appropriate for them. ठीक है. सो स्टेंजा 1 हमारा क्या है? वो है ह्यूमन ग्रीड, यानी कि इंसानों का लालच और उनका सेल्फिश नेचर हैव रिजल्टेड इन द कटिंग ऑफ द ट्रीज फ्रॉम फॉरेस्ट, मेकिंग देम बेयर. बेयर रेफर्स टू लाइक नेकेड. ओके, सो वो क्या बोल रहे हैं कि जो इंसान का जो लालच है ना, और जो इंसान का सेल्फिश नेचर है, उससे क्या हुआ है कि जो पेड़ हैं, जो पेड़ पौधे हैं, क्या कहते हैं, फॉरेस्ट में, उनको कट कर दिया गया है और अब उन फॉरेस्ट में कुछ भी नहीं है. वो खाली पड़े हैं, बंजर पड़े हैं, वो बेयर हैं, वो लाइक दे आर टोटली नेकेड. ओके, दे डू नॉट हैव व्हाट दे आर मेंट फॉर. ओके, गॉट दैट? इज दैट क्लियर? सो वहां पे अब क्या है, जो एनिमल्स हैं, ठीक है, जो बर्ड्स हैं और इंसेक्ट्स हैं, जो ट्रीज पे रहते हैं, वो सब लोग अब होमलेस हो चुके हैं. क्यों होमलेस हो गए हैं? क्योंकि एनिमल्स के लिए रहने के लिए जगह नहीं है, बर्ड्स के लिए नेस्ट बनाने के लिए ट्रीज नहीं है, इंसेक्ट्स जो हैं वो भी वहां पे अपना होल नहीं बना सकते हैं मिट्टी में, बिकॉज देयर इज नो प्लेस फॉर देम दैट कैन प्रोटेक्ट देम नाउ एनीवे. ऑल राइट, clear? So what happened is like they have planted them in their homes to decorate their verandas and balconies. Humans ने क्या किया है? Humans क्या करते हैं? वो हमेशा बर्बाद करते हैं नेचर को. ये humans की टेंडेंसी हो गई, because they are concerned about themselves. हमें अपना घर सुंदर करना है. They are not concerned about the actual nature, the working of the nature. तो उन्होंने अपने घर में वेरांडा उसको डेकोरेट करने के लिए, बालकनीज को डेकोरेट करने के लिए वहां से पेड़ पौधों को हटा के यहाँ पर लेकर आ गए. So the poet, this is an important, the poet personalized the trees. जो मैंने आपको बताया था ना, metaphorical representation और like I told you about the symbolism. So वो यहाँ पे आ रहा है कि poet क्या बोल रहा है. Poet ये कह रहा है कि जो ये trees है ना, उनको बेसिकली उसने पर्सनलाइज कर दिया है, जैसे कि लाइक यहाँ पे पर्सोनिफिकेशन यूज हो गया है. क्या बोला गया है कि वो दे आर मूविंग आउट ऑफ कन्फाइनमेंट. कन्फाइनमेंट क्या होता है? बाउंडेशंस, बाउंड्रीज. अब वो लोग ना बाउंड्री से बाहर निकल रहे हैं. सो ये दिस इज पर्सोनिफिकेशन, एज इफ द ह्यूमंस आर मूविंग आउट, व्हिच इनडायरेक्टली एंड सिंबॉलिकली ही इज रेफरिंग टू, सॉरी, शी इज रेफरिंग टू द विमेन ओनली, कि वो लोग अब बाउंड्री से बाहर निकल रहे हैं. सो ये क्या बता रहे हैं? दैट इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ रिवॉल्यूशन, एक क्रांति छिड़ गई है, वेयर ऑल द ट्रीज, जहां पे ऑल द ट्रीज रेफर टू ऑल द विमेन, ठीक है, दे हैव डिसाइडेड टू ब्रेक द शैकल्स, शैकल्स मतलब कि बाउंड्रीज, वो उन्होंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि जितने भी हमारी बाउंड्रीज हैं हम उनको तोड़ देंगे और वो मुड़ेंगे कहाँ पे, लिबर्टी, आजादी की तरफ। So that is what like here the poet is talking about कि क्रांति छिड़ गई है जहाँ पे जितने भी trees हैं उन सब में एक unity बन गई है, they are all in unison, they have decided this combiningly that they will now break the boundaries, they will work with all their force, with all their strength, with all their power, and they will move towards their independence, freedom and liberty. Okay, that is what he is here talking about, sorry, she's here talking about. So now the last point, it makes it clear that the trees symbolize the women who were confined inside their homes and the outside world was incomplete without them, but now they are started moving out. So that's what I mentioned कि उन्होंने अब ये डिसाइड कर लिया एक यूनिटी में कि हम लोग बाहर निकलेंगे, तो जितने भी मतलब बाउंड्रीज है उनको तोड़ के हम बाहर निकलेंगे. सो इट्स अ डिसीजन मेड इन यूनिटी, दैट इज व्हाट द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हियर इज. Like the poet is trying to say that that we cannot play with the terms of nature, and women is a part of nature, so we cannot be in conflict with women because the outside world is incomplete without the presence of women. Women is not just made for the indoors, she has like equal rights to exercise the power and strength in the outside world as well. Okay, they are not the non-living things which are just a mere showpiece. They are the human beings who have got the equal right to breathe in an open air. Okay, is that clear? समझ में आ गई? Am I clear on this, everybody? Did you all get that well? Yes or no? Comment section में please. Till then, let me have some water. Okay, Mariam. Thank you, Shubdat. Okay. Next stanza is the roots of the trees are entangled, entwined. एंटवाइन का मतलब क्या है, जो रूट्स है ना ट्रीज की, ठीक है, जो ट्रीज की रूट्स होते हैं वो एक दूसरे में फंसी होती हैं. अगर आपने कभी रूट्स की ट्रीज या अपने पेड़ पौधों की ट्रीज देखी होंगी तो आपने देखा होगा कि उनकी रूट्स हमेशा एक दूसरे में फंसी रहती हैं. ठीक है, तो वो क्या है कि वो जो ट्रीज हैं की जो रूट्स हैं वो ना फ्लोर के साथ बहुत तेजी से बंधी हुई हैं. द ट्रीज वर्क द होल नाइट, तो अब जो ट्रीज हैं वो पूरी रात काम कर रहे होते हैं इन ऑर्डर टू ब्रेक दो शैकल्स, यानी कि बाउंडेशंस, बाउंड्रीज. द फ्रेजाइल लीव्स एक्सर्ट, फ्रेजाइल मतलब जो सॉफ्ट लीव्स हैं, herein we refer to the women who are soft, who are just growing right now, like who are not really hard. Okay, what are they doing? यहाँ पे जो twigs हैं, branches हैं, वो exert कर रही हैं pressure, यानी कि pressure डाल रही हैं in unison. Unison refers to your unity में, ठीक है, क्या करने के लिए, ग्लास सीलिंग को तोड़ना है. वहां पे ऊपर ग्लास सीलिंग जो है जो उनको आगे बढ़ने नहीं दे रही है, तो वो उस सीलिंग को अब तोड़ना चाहते हैं. तो वो सब लोग मिलके क्या कर रहे हैं, वो सब लोग मिलके वहां पे एक्सर्ट कर रहे हैं प्रेशर. rebel to get something in life, and today is also such as case of Iran. Poonam, see, I can only talk about the fact that like the poet has written this particular poem because like earlier in those times the patriarchal society was so very much empowering over the feminine society. So that is why the feminine revolution, it broke out, and the women, they decided that we need to fight for it. If we are not gonna speak, we are not gonna get the rights. Okay, so that is what there we have to consider in the context of the poem. So the small stems, जो छोटी क्या कहते हैं small twigs होते हैं, वो continuously, वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा continuously काम कर रहे होते हैं towards freedom, and they have lost their softness in that process. You know, like when you've been working on something for, like if you're not working, तो आपके हाथ जो हैं वो हमेशा आपके palms होंगे, वो soft होंगे, ठीक है. But if you'll see the hardworking hands of the laborers outside, you'll see that they are always hard. Why? Because they work a lot. So if your hands are hard, that gives an indication that you're really a hardworking person because you really work hard. You just let go of your softness in the process of like doing something. You know, like unless and until you're not burning to do it, you'll not get it. Okay, we see that how do you get a gold? Gold is so refined and polished. We have to burn it in order to make it. So it goes through the process of burning. That means the harshness has to come in order to provide the actual good and a very amazing result. So that is what here the thing is, that they were like really working very hard in order to get their freedom, and in the entire process we see that they are leaving their softness. Okay, the softness is just being killed. सो द ग्रोथ ऑफ द ब्रांचेस इज स्टंटेड, यानी कि जो ग्रोथ हो रही है ब्रांचेस की वो रुक गई है और वो ऐसे दब रही है. स्टंट इज लाइक ये दबना, ठीक है, वो आगे ग्रो नहीं कर पा रही है. क्यों? क्योंकि जो सीलिंग्स हैं और जो वॉल्स हैं वो सब क्लोज्ड हैं चारों तरफ से. दे कैन ग्रो, दे हैव द पावर टू ग्रो, दे हैव द स्ट्रेंथ टू grow, they have the ability and the capacity to grow. However, the closed walls and the closed ceilings do not let them move out. But now they have decided that they will all be like exerting pressure to such an extent upward and sidewards that the walls would be broken and the ceilings would also get broken, and they would move out in the actual open world. Okay? So we see when the trees finally go out, they look like discharged patients. They are confused and unable to believe that they are successfully returning to like their actual places. All right, successfully returning to the world outside. ठीक है, तो अभी क्या है, डिस्चार्ज पेशेंट के साथ यहाँ पे क्यों यहाँ पे किया गया है इसको कंपेयर, बिकॉज हेयर द थिंग इज लाइक व्हेन यू आर like when you're getting discharged from a hospital or somewhere, no, so like you feel quite relieved and you're like, oh thank god अब मैं घर पे जा रहा हूँ. So you believe कि अच्छा ठीक है finally अब घर जा रहे हैं, like that. तो वहां पे थोड़ा सा ऐसा unconscious सा state होता है when you are not completely conscious, however you are still conscious. Okay, because that is all due to the effects of the medicine. So now they cannot just believe this कि finally after such long this is really working out. Okay, when the feminism movement was at its peak in 1963, so the women, they were not really believing it that they made it, that they were now returning to their homes, they were returning to the actual liberty, they were returning to the outside world. Okay, so symbolically, what is the stanza talking about? It is talking about the women's struggle for freedom. It is a long process. It is not a short process. It is not something that can be achieved in a very short duration of time. Instead, it's a process which will take a longer duration, which will take some more time. Okay, that is what it is talking about. So the floor and the ceiling, they symbolize the patriarchy. That is the patriarchal society. All right, is that clear? Because trees didn't get Puram, of course, if you are keeping a tree like bounded in a particular place, how will it grow? Like for growing you need space, and the women, they were capable of growing and they needed space for themselves to breathe well and to grow well. A tree can grow well in the open air, it cannot grow well in an enclosed area. All right, the plants cannot, like there are very limited plants which are the indoor plants. Okay, however they can grow to a particular extent like this or maybe this. Okay, but they cannot grow to like unlimited extent if they are being kept indoors. For the growth with an open sky, the tree has to move out, the tree has to be kept in an open air, then only it can just grow and flourish. Same is the case with any human being, be it a man or a woman. Okay. All right, subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Anjay, subconscious mind is the mind which works like quite inactively. I mean, for example, right now I am thinking like I am teaching you. So in my mind, the entire explanation is going on, but back of my mind, it's going on that I have to deal with the grammar classes also, and I have to arrange the special classes also. So the mind, which is a little suppressed one, okay, that's your subconscious mind, and the conscious mind is like what is actively doing right now. For example, I may be cooking in my kitchen. Okay, I'm preparing the pizza, all right now for my sister, but back of mind it's going on that I've kept the clothes in my other washing machine, I'll have to go and just switch off the machine. तो वो सबकॉन्शियसली चल रहा है, मेरे एक सप्रेस्ड माइंड में चल रहा है. कॉन्शियसली अभी मैं खाना बना रही हूँ, मुझे ये पता है इसमें मुझे 1 चम्मच नमक डालना है, ठीक है, ये मुझे मैं सबकॉन्शियसली कर रही हूँ, मैं अभी होश में रह के ये चीज कर रही हूँ सामने आपके. आपको ये दिख रहा है कि प्रेक्षा जो है नमक डाल रही है कढ़ाई में, ठीक है, लेकिन आपको ये नहीं दिख रहा कि प्रेक्षा के सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में क्या चल रहा है. मेरे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में ये चल रहा है खाना बनाते हुए कि मेरी क्लास है 3 बजे, ठीक है, तो उसके लिए मुझे बच्चों को आज नोट्स देने हैं. ओके, दैट इज व्हाट योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड इज. ओके, गॉट दैट अजय? ऑलराइट. सो आफ्टर इयर्स ऑफ स्ट्रगल, बहुत सालों की मेहनत के बाद, जो सॉफ्ट और फ्रेजाइल वुमेन है, सॉफ्ट फ्रेजाइल इज लाइक वेरी सॉफ्ट, ओके, लाइक दैट कैन बी हर्टेड वेल, दैट कैन बी लाइक yeah, hurted well only in the context of women, but fragile basically means something that can be easily broken. ठीक है, like for a like a glass, that way basically like a glass you can see कांच का ग्लास जैसे हम बोलते हैं. And women have now become strong. So now our women have become strong. So they look like patients because they were crammed up in a small place. क्यों वो पेशेंट की तरह क्यों लग रहे हैं? क्योंकि उनको ज्यादा स्पेस ही नहीं दिया जा रहा था आगे बढ़ने के लिए. उनको एक छोटे से स्पेस में रखा जा रहा था एक बड़ लॉन्ग टाइम के लिए, और वो अभी भी क्या है, वीक है. एंड दे आर स्टिल वीक. Okay, got that? Then we have the stanza 3, which is the speaker, who could be the poet herself, keeps the doors open. Okay, this is a very important point. Now what exactly the thing is, जो speaker है यानी एड्रियन रिच, ठीक है, जो poet खुद है, उन्होंने ना अपने क्या कहते हैं दरवाजे खुले रखे हुए हैं. सो शी सिट्स इनसाइड, वो अंदर बैठी हुई है अपने घर में रात को, और वो बहुत लंबे लंबे लेटर्स लिख रही है जिसमें वो ट्रीज का बाहर जाना मेंशन नहीं करती, यानी जिसमें वो विमेन का बाहर जाना मेंशन नहीं करती है. ठीक है. So the smell of leaves, all right, or lichens reach her like human voices. तो जो वो leaves थे, lichens वहां पे थे, जितने भी trees वहां पे थे, उनकी जो smell है, ठीक है, सॉरी, जो उनकी smell है, वो उस तक पहुंच रही हैं जैसे कि इंसानों की आवाजें हों. All right. So the poet is also confined inside the house. जो poet एड्रियन रिच, वो भी घर के अंदर बंद है. But she has left her doors open. लेकिन उसने अपने घर के दरवाजे खुले रख रखे हैं. So she calls the women. उसने women को क्या बोला है? As forest, because वो लोग individual trees नहीं हैं. It's a large movement. ओके, वो ट्रीज को, मतलब विमेन को, वो फॉरेस्ट से क्यों एड्रेस कर रही है? क्योंकि वो एक कंबाइंड फॉर्म में बात कर रही है. शी इज नॉट सेइंग दैट देयर इज एनी इंडिविजुअल थिंग. इंस्टेड शी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द फैक्ट कि ये बहुत बड़ा मूवमेंट है, द फेमिनिज्म मूवमेंट. So the word home is used to denote the place where these women were imprisoned till now, and the open sky is waiting for them. So these women are calling the poet to join the movement who is still confused. समझ आ रही है बात कि पोएट भी घर के अंदर है, दरवाजे खुले पड़े हैं. सो बाहर जो फॉरेस्ट विमेन गई हैं वो उनको आवाजें लगा रही हैं कि आ जाओ तुम भी. ये अभी भी कंफ्यूज्ड है कि मैं क्या करूं. All right, so in a way, this is like a movement that she is using via her writing. That is what she has done. She has imparted the information to the people outside. She has let the people know that it's like really, really important that you get to understand your importance in the world, and you have the right to speak for yourself. If you do not speak for your own self, nobody else is going to do anything for you. First you need to take the decision on your own, and then somebody can help you if you think that you are not being given the right that you deserve. Okay, got that? Next stanza is, from her room the poet can hear the whispers of the trees. Whispers of the trees. वो कह रही है कि मुझे अपने कमरे से ना जो जो फुसफुसा रहे हैं ना ट्रीज, उनके whispers सुनाई दे रहे हैं. Whispering is like when you are speaking in a very low tone. So tomorrow the trees will reach the forest. अब पोइट क्या कह रहा है कि कल ना ट्रीज जो हैं वो फॉरेस्ट चले जाएंगे और ये जो घर है फिर से शांत हो जाएगा. तो शी हेयर्स द साउंड्स ऑफ ब्रेकिंग ग्लास. उसको अब आवाजें सुनाई दे रही है कि जो वो सीलिंग का ग्लास है जिसने उनकी, ये कहते हैं, उनको उनकी ग्रोथ को रोक रखा है, वो अब टूट रहे हैं और वो एक दूसरे पे गिर रहे हैं क्योंकि वो वहां से निकल रहे हैं हरी में, जल्दी में वो वहां से निकल रहे हैं. The wind blows faster as if it is eager to meet them. जो अब हवाएं बहुत तेज चलने लग गई जैसे कि उन हवाओं को उन ट्रीज से मिलना है. That means कि open air wants to meet the women who were running out of the foundations by breaking the glass, because they were all eager to just find the liberty for themselves, to find the freedom and the independence for themselves. ठीक है? So the wind blows faster. So the trees are very tall. They break the moon into pieces and the moon looks like a crown on the head of the oak trees. So trees जो हैं वो बहुत बड़े हैं, ठीक है. So यहाँ पे एक imagery यूज की गई है कि आप, मतलब जब वो trees अब आ गए हैं फॉरेस्ट में, तो वहां से जब मूनलाइट आ रही है तो वो मूनलाइट ब्रेक होके आ रही है. तो जब हम उस मूनलाइट को देखते हैं तो हमें ऐसे लगता है कि वो जो क्राउन बन गया है, जो ओक ट्रीज वहां पे हैं, उसका क्राउन मून पे बन गया है. सो द लाइट इज नाउ गेटिंग रिफ्लेक्टेड फ्रॉम दैट. ठीक है. सो द पोएट हियर्स विस्पर्स, ये नेगेटिव आर्ग्यूमेंट्स है, यानी विच विल स्टॉप सून. नेगेटिव मतलब कौन से आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं? दीज आर द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स विच लाइक पीपल से, लाइक द पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी पुट ऑन देम कि ये सब गलत हो रहा है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो पीपल विल गॉसिप अबाउट विमेन ब्रेकिंग बाउंड्रीज. जो लोग हैं वो गॉसिप करेंगे कि वो लोग बाउंड्रीज तोड़ रहे हैं, बट आफ्टर सम टाइम, लेकिन कुछ टाइम के बाद दे विल गेट बोर्ड, दे विल फॉरगेट इट. Okay, it'll remain in their minds for quite some time. Women break the barriers which were made by the patriarchal society. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने बैरियर्स को तोड़ दिए जो किसने बनाए थे, पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी ने बनाए थे. When the moon is seen through the leaves, it looks broken and appears to be the crown of the oak tree. I told you. So women are successful in breaking the patriarchy, and now a crown adorns their heads. यहाँ पे ये है कि ये जो क्राउन पे क्या है, जो ट्रीज है वो क्या कर रहे हैं, ट्रीज से जो लाइट, मून लाइट आ रही है, तो अब क्या लग रहा है कि वो जो सारे ट्रीज है ना, उन्होंने क्राउन बना लिया है मून पर. सो अब क्या है कि जितने भी विमेन है वो बहुत ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल हो चुके हैं. व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि अब जितने भी विमेन है ना, दे आर ऑल वेरी सक्सेसफुल. ठीक है, ब्रेक करने में, क्या, पेट्रियार्की को तोड़ने में. ऑल राइट, और अब एक क्राउन, ठीक है, उनके सर पे सज रहा है. दैट इज व्हाट ही इज हेयर टॉकिंग अबाउट. समझ में आई बात? Is that clear, everybody? Did you all get that well? Quickly tell me. समझ में आया? Yes, guys. Am I clear on this? Got it? Okay. चलिए लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस देखते हैं. पोम जो है फ्री वर्स में लिखी गई है, यानी कि नो राइम स्कीम. ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोई भी राइम स्कीम नहीं है. ठीक है, पर्सोनिफिकेशन है. That means the poem has been personified. The sun has been personified. Sunny bury its feet. ठीक है, so feet, of course, the sun doesn't have feet, but however, the word feet has been associated with sun. So that means somewhere the human-like attributes are being associated with the sun. Okay. Also, we have personification. The leaves, twigs, and branches are also personified. The leaves, strain, roof. That is the thing. Okay. Simile hai. Simile is like when we are comparing anything with the other thing via the use of the terms like or as. That is where comes the simile. So, like newly discharged patient still reaches like a voice into the rooms. The moon is broken like a mirror. So, the broken moon has been compared to a broken mirror. All right, like the newly discharged patients, okay, they have been compared to, like, sorry, the women, they have been compared to the newly discharged patients. Okay. Enjambment hai. Enjambment is like when one sentence continues to the next sentence without the use of punctuation. That is where comes the enjambment. The forest that was trees by morning, the leaves train half doors, doors open the house. When we have the extensive use of imagery in the following lines already. The trees inside are moving out in the forest. The night is fresh. The rooms. That's what the real thing is. Is that clear? All right. Yeah, right. Okay. Next, we are moving to our last poem of the day, which is Fog. Tell me who has written Fog. Quickly tell me, everybody. I hope both the ma'am short में what are twigs, branches and roots. अजय बेटा देखो, twigs, branches and roots, they are like, roots basically refer to the like fact that they are being tied. The women, they are being tied to the foundations. ठीक है, ये वाली चीज है. And twigs and the other words, all right, that are being used. Just a moment, everybody. Yeah, huh. Right. So the twigs and the branches, they basically refer to the soft and fragile women. Okay. जैसे जो twigs हैं छोटी छोटी या फिर branches हैं, they refer to the fragile women. ठीक है. Carl Sandburg is the poet of the poem folk. Okay. Where they wanna go? They wanna go to the, बेटा क्या कर रहे थे, सुन नहीं रहे थे? They want to go to the outside world. Okay, they want to go like achieve freedom. They want to achieve peace. They do not want to remain in foundation. Okay, they want to like attain the freedom for themselves. They want to live freely. They don't want to be like authorized, dominated, or guided by the patriarchal society, the society run by the men. Okay. Acha, tell me, do you have any idea about fog? What is being given in the poem fog? Yes, everybody, what is being given here? Quickly, everyone. What's being given here? Tree and fog. Though this poem talks about the arrival of fog in little cat feet and as little and the departure of it slowly. I'm confused because everywhere it's written with different opinions. Somewhere it's written they want to go out in the forest. Our ma'am said. I'm for. अच्छा ठीक है बेटा देखो अजय समझो like they want to go out in the forest. Basically इसका क्या मतलब है? Women want to go out like trees want to go out in the forest. समझो क्या मतलब है यहाँ पे? देखो मैं आपको बताती हूँ. जो trees हैं ठीक है they want to go out in the forest ठीक है so trees basically represent the women and forest basically represents an open society ठीक है with open air and no foundations so ये कट क्लियर मतलब है ट्रीज जो है वो सिंबल है विमेन का फॉरेस्ट सिंबल है एक ओपन एयर का वेयर देयर इज फ्रीडम and liberty right where there is no dominance okay because in open air in forest all right tree can grow limitless right लेकिन अगर सपोज मैंने अपनी बैल्कनी में लगा दिया एक पौधा अब वो ऊपर जाएगा सीलिंग तक उसके बाद तो मुझे कुछ जुगाड़ ही करना पड़ेगा ना कि वो और आगे निकल जाए वहां तक तो रुक गया वो उसकी अब मैंने रोक दी ग्रोथ लेकिन अगर ओपन एयर में जंगल में है तो वहां पे तो एक्सेस है ना लिमिटलेस जितना ऊपर तक जाना चाहता है ट्री जितना उसकी ग्रोथ है वो बढ़ सकता है समझ आ रही है बात अजय अब आया समझ क्या बोला मैंने आपको ट्रीज विमेन को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है ट्रीज तो जाना ही चाहते हैं फॉरेस्ट में यानी कि इसका सिंबल क्या है कि विमेन दे वांट टू गो इनटू एन ओपन एयर सो दैट दे कैन ब्रीथ एंड दे कैन लिव फ्रीली विदाउट द अथॉरिटी और डोमिनेंस ऑफ मेन समझ में आई द पोएम okay so if question comes where the trees wanna go so their forest will come but if it in reference of women so liberty and freedom yes हाँ वेरी गुड अजय एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट कभी भी ये क्वेश्चन आए ट्रीज कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं तो आप लिखो फॉरेस्ट में उसके साथ ये हमेशा पिन पॉइंट करो विच सिंबॉलिकली रिप्रेजेंट दैट women want to attain the freedom by going into an open air like forest समझ में आई ये बात अजय ठीक है the poem tells arrival of the frog and also compared to the cat yep सही illusion no पूनम कोई illusion नहीं है बेटा ठीक है समझ में आ गया अजय क्लियर now women get freedom and liberty to do what she wants to do or grow yes हाँ राइट क्योंकि मैंने क्या बोला आपको ट्री अगर मैं बाहर प्लांट करती हूँ पूरा आसमान है आसमान तक लिमिटलेस ठीक है मैं अगर अपनी बैल्कनी में लगा दूंगी तो ऊपर सीलिंग ही है मेरी बैल्कनी में सीलिंग तक जाएगा उसके बाद फिर से जुगाड़ ढूंढना पड़ेगा तो वहां पे जाके तो वो क्रैम्प ही होगी ना उसकी जो क्या कहते हैं स्टेम है वो झुकेगी तो मुझे झुकाना नहीं है झुकाने के लिए मुझे उस पर बढ़ाना है तो मुझे भारी भेजना पड़ेगा ना उसको दैट वे क्लियर चले फॉग स्टार्ट करें मैं गो हेड चले यस गाइस गॉट इट चलिए अब हम चलते हैं हमारी नेक्स्ट पोएम की ओर फॉग और राइट कार्ल सेनबर्ग ने लिखी है प्लीज रिमेंबर द स्पेलिंग ऑफ द पोएट इट्स ऑलवेज इंपॉर्टेंट ऑल राइट ग्रेट गाइस तो चलो अब फॉग का सबसे छोटी पोएम है बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है मतलब जब तक तो हम पढ़ते हैं तब तक तो खत्म ही हो जाती है ठीक है इट्स अ वेरी शॉर्ट पोएम हमेशा मेंशन करना है इट्स सिंबॉलिक यप यस अजय करो मेंशन ठीक है मतलब ये मेंशन करो like the trees they want to go out in the forest which symbolically represents that the women want to get out in an open air to exercise their own rights and freedom because they are seeking for freedom right like this चलिए अब फॉग का हमारा सेटिंग टाइटल और थीम तीनों चीज मैं इन पॉइंट्स में कवर करूंगी सेटिंग ओके जस्ट अ मिनट गाइस हियर ऑलराइट सॉरी दिस हैज बीन रिटर्न रॉन्ग मैं आप लोगों को बता रही हूँ कि इसकी सेटिंग टाइटल और पोम क्या है दिस इज लाइक कमिंग फ्रॉम द ट्रीज ओनली ठीक है इसका सेटिंग इज दैट देयर इज द मेंशन ऑफ फॉग इट्स द विंटर सीजन ऑलराइट एंड वी हैव कैट हियर ठीक है, फॉग है हमारे पास विंटर सीजन है और कैट है. दिस इज द सेटिंग, अ वेरी सिंपल सेटिंग. इट शोज द फॉग दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. It's a winter season, of course, and there is a little cat. All right, now the title is very simple and clear. All right, because it talks about one of the agents of nature, which is fog, which represents the winter season. That's the title. All right, is that clear to everyone? Did you get that? समझ में आया? सेटिंग मैंने आपको बता दिया. सेटिंग में बस फॉग है, विंटर सीजन और कैट है. टाइटल इज वेरी सिंपल एंड क्लियर बिकॉज इट represents, like here we are talking about one of the agents of nature which represents the winter season, that is the fog. All right, is that clear? Is that clear to everybody? Got that? समझ में आया? Now the theme refers to the central idea. What is the central idea of the poem? The central idea of the poem is that the fog is having the character just like that of a little cat. Okay, because the fog, it is similar in characteristics as that of the cat. इसमें आपका कुछ underlying इतना मतलब नहीं है. It is just straightforward telling us about the nature of fog. Like it comes, it sits, and it moves silently. That's it. Nothing else is there. All right, it's a very short poem which is talking about the short-lived nature of one of the agents of nature being compared to an animal cat. That's it. All right, is that clear? समझ में आ गई बात? So, what do we see? The meaning is like super easy. There has been personification running in the entire poem. Personification is there. What is personification? Personification is when we are attributing the human-like attributes, when we are just attributing the human-like qualities to anything which is non-human. And here, what is non-human? The fog, dhund, right? So poet ने personify कर दिया है fog को एक cat के साथ. All right. अब क्या है? What is the poet doing? The poet is comparing the movement of the fog with that of a cat. So जो क्या कहते हैं fog का movement है वो एक cat के साथ compare किया गया है. Like the cat, जैसे कि cat आती है, the fog also comes quietly and suddenly. Cats हमेशा अचानक से आती हैं. मैंने हमेशा ऐसे experience किया है. All right. Yes, Poonam. Yes, that's right. Rudra, don't be worried about me. If you're here to study, please concentrate on that. If you have any questions, ask me that. Do not create unnecessarily spam in the class. Kindly do not post any comment which is not needed right now. Okay, your exams are approaching. Let's be very mindful of what we are doing because everybody here is for studying. Okay, so just relax. I'm taking care of myself, and thank you so much for the concern. Okay, let's get going, everybody. So, of course, the fog has been personified, Poonam, right? And that too, like with a cat. So, there has been a comparison that has been made. Okay, so अब जो cat है वो कैसे आती है? वो ना बिल्कुल धीरे से आती है हमेशा. Like this is the nature of cat. Cat is like a very cunning like creature. चालाक होती है. ठीक है. So cat always comes quietly. बड़े बहुत धीरे से चुपके से आती है. ठीक है. और अचानक से आती है. So these are the words that you need to use when you're going to talk about the character of cat in order to relate it with that of the fog. कि चुपके से आना और अचानक आना. ठीक है. So the fog sits on its hind legs. Hind legs क्या होता है? जो उसकी पीछे की जो दो टांगे होती हैं वो उस पे बैठती है और फिर वो पूरी सिटी को इधर से उधर देखती है. Looks at the city and the seaport quietly. ठीक है. और हार्बर. Seaport refers to the harbor. ठीक है. So वो बैठती है और वो इधर देखती है उधर देखती है और बड़े आराम से चुपके से देख रही होती है. ठीक है. अ कैट ऑल्सो रोम्स अराउंड. वो ना आसपास घूमती भी है और फिर वो ना रुक जाती है और किसी चीज को घूरती है. If you have ever seen the nature of a cat, no, like the cat always does like this. After sitting for some time, so similarly, कुछ टाइम के बैठने के बाद वो quietly चली जाती है जैसे कि cat. So that is just the only thing that has been made here. One of the agents of nature, that is the fog, has been compared with that of the cat, and there has been a comparison in terms of their quality. Sorry, in terms of their characteristic traits. That's it. Is that clear? समझ में आई ये बात? Clear? Got it? ठीक है. So poem हमारी done है. Literary devices, the metaphor, a metaphor is there. The poet uses the metaphor of a cat to describe the fog's movement. There is no rhyme scheme in the poem. The poem has been written in free verse. Always pay attention to the literary devices, which are also known as your poetic devices. आप इनको poetic devices भी बोलते हो, all right, और आप इनको figures of speech भी बोलते हो. ठीक है, आप ये सब चीजें इनको बोलते हो. उसके बाद आप क्या कहते हैं, यू वर्क ऑन द राइम स्कीम ऑल्सो. ठीक है, दिस इज लाइक इम्पोर्टेंट. लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस हो गया, राइम स्कीम भी हो गया, ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. सेटिंग, टाइटल, थीम पे भी काम किया करो. ठीक है, इन पे क्वेश्चंस हमेशा आपके एग्जाम में आ सकते हैं. सो टेक दैट इन अ बिट मोर सीरियस मैनर. सो एन्चैपमेंट है, इट्स सेट्स लुकिंग मूव्स ऑन, कोई बीच में पंक्चुएशन नहीं है. पर्सोनिफिकेशन है, फॉग हैज बीन पर्सोनिफाइड, इट कम्स and sits looking and then moves on. So ये जो verbs use हुए हैं, sits, comes and moves on, these are the words which are associated with that of a human. A human can sit, a human can come, a human can move. Alright, similarly here we are talking in the context of the the characteristic traits of a fog. So the fog is coming, it is sitting and it is moving. So that is what it is. Clear? Got it everybody? समझ में आ गया सबको? So we are done with the poems, everyone. Can we relate this poem with the struggle that arises without informing us? And no, Akriti, no, okay? Don't even write that in your examination. I've told this like multiple times in my sessions. Whenever we are like talking about anything, or whenever you're being asked to like speak in the write in the context of the poem, keep it contextual. Do not go in any other meanings. The other this way, so you can talk about a lot of things. You're talking about the struggle, then you can talk about the difficulties also. They also come uninvited. They come like slowly, all right, and then they sit quietly. Sorry, they come, all right, quickly, quietly, and suddenly, all right, and then they move quietly, all right, like with the whatever harm they want to do. Okay, like that is not creating any kind of a havoc or something. However, it depends upon the nature of difficulties. So we can compare it to a lot of things, but we are never going to incorporate those things, because whatever has been mentioned by poet, you're gonna write that. We can never assume or analyze the things on our own whenever it's a question being asked in any literature paper. Never ever do that. Keep it in your mind for your later standards as well, 11th and 12th. All right. Okay, high injured where exchange of things happen through water. This is a kind of port. Yup. That is right. Right. That is basically harbor, right? Yup, yeah, symbol है ना बेटा, symbolism तो है ही. Fog is the symbol for what? Like fog is basically here the symbol. No, there is no symbolism. Like fog is basically like has been used as in a metaphorical manner with that of the cat. So there is no symbol as such. पेपर फॉर प्री बोर्ड्स अजय वो हम करेंगे बेटा, अभी हम स्टार्ट करेंगे उसे दिसंबर से. ठीक है, क्लियर? सो गाइस, सीबीएसई क्लास 6 to 12 का स्पेशल ऑफर प्राइस चल रहा है. आप लोगों को 45% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा सीबीएसई क्लास 6 to 12 सब्सक्रिप्शंस के लिए. अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस है लाइव और रिकॉर्डेड क्लासेस का. स्ट्रक्चर्ड बैचेस और कोर्सेज हैं. इन क्लास डाउट सॉल्विंग है टॉप एजुकेटर्स के द्वारा. लाइव टेस्ट और क्विजेज हैं. कोड यूज करो PSH10. ठीक है, नवंबर 22 से ऑफर ऑन है. गो अहेड विद इट. ठीक है, इन प्लस लाइक यू कैन हैव लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल 6 मंथ्स के लिए इफ यू गो फॉर इट. 15,199 का है, अभी पे करोगे 8,549 और 6,650 बचाओगे. सो 44% की सेविंग्स हैं. कंसिडर इट. कोड यूज करो PSH10, आपकी खुद की हेल्प होने वाली है. फिर आइकॉनिक में अगर आप जैसे 6 महीने के लिए जाते हो सो 22,483 हुआ. सो इसमें अभी आपको मतलब वो एक्चुअल प्राइस है, अभी आपको देना है 13,049 रुपीज. 9434 42% की सेविंग्स है. PSH10 आपका कोड है. गो अहेड गाइस एंड एंजॉय. लिंग्विस्टिक्स बैच है ग्रामर का, हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश. इट गॉट स्टार्टेड ऑन 17 November for class 10 to be taught by Lakan sir, Akasha, Vandana ma'am and Bhavna ma'am. Then we have one short revision for math, social science and science. It got started on November 13. Mode of delivery is English for 10th especially. Vinay sir, Akshay sir, Himal sir and Hardik sir are there. Answer writing batch and PYQs are there for math, science and social science. It got started on November 10. Mode of delivery is English. And like the class is 9. We have Vinay sir, Hardik sir and Bhavna ma'am. So compete is there, battle and know where you stand, play one-to-one live question battles and improve your rating live on the Unacademy Android app. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I hope you really love the session. We are gonna meet today at 5 p.m. All right, I may arrange one more session in between. Let's see if that happens or not. But 5 p.m. we'll be dealing with the character sketches from First Flight and Footprints Without Feet. Some of the chapters are being chosen by me, so let's work on that. And please make sure you're attending that. Do not forget to like and share the session with all your friends, and definitely make sure that you're subscribing the channel if you're watching it for the very first time. Alrighty, people. Okay, symbolism there. It's just like a God for thank you. Oh my God, Mariam, no, like no human being can ever be compared to God. Okay, come on. But yeah, thank you so much. All right, Dhirendra, why are you so very much concerned about the question? That's not even contextual. I have always been saying this. Like stick to the contextual questions. Ajay, that's so sweet of you. Thank you, Akriti. Alrighty, people. Okay, everyone. So we are gonna meet soon. I mean, in terms of like being at 5 p.m. So take care. Bye bye, and let's